Well, good morning folks and welcome to Dorset. Actually this is the avenue leading up to Kingston Lacy, that's the one. Anyway, this is quite a famous line of trees, beech trees I believe, that sort of go either side of this road that you can see behind me. It's quite famous here down in Dorset, and I'm going to try and photograph it today. Now, I've actually learnt my lesson from last week's video or last time's video, whenever it went out, whereby I didn't get up early enough and went to a location where you've got to get out of bed early to actually avoid the crowds and all the rest of it. So I've heeded my own advice, got out of bed this morning at 3:30, absolutely knackered. I've got down here today to hopefully get some sun coming sort of through these trees onto the road, and sort of I'd like a bit of mist, but I haven't got mist today. It did say there was going to be some about, and I've driven through some this morning, but unfortunately there's none here. But it doesn't matter. The you know, the leaves are a beautiful shade of green, and what I was looking for was some not sunrise, but some early morning sort of rays of light coming through the trees onto the road, because like I say, the trees line both sides of the road, so some nice side lit trees, some nice different angles on the road where the light's hitting it was exactly what I was after. However, we've got sort of a mid-level of cloud which the sun has now disappeared behind, and I'm just sort of hanging around. Now this is an early morning shot. I haven't shot this during the winter time because the sun rises too late, and this is quite a busy road. It gets very busy, so you've got to get here early morning to obviously be able to get a shot in between the cars. So there's probably a car coming along every couple of minutes, which enables you to get you know, to get a shot in between them really. So yeah, that's what it is. But I'm just sort of hanging around now really to see what this light does. I can see patches of blue sky above this sort of band of mist that's the where the sun's gone behind. But yeah, just got to see what we can get really, but we'll see what happens. So I'm going to hang around here for a bit and see if it changes. But anyway, the gear that I've got with me today, so I've got my 4x5 as always, I've got my Lumix as always, and I've also got my 6x17 back. Now I have had a wander around this morning and had a look through the Viewfinder app just to see what might work here, and I definitely think it's going to be a 6x17 shot here, probably on a 180mm lens, just looking at it, all the 250mm, leaning towards 180 to be honest. In colour, if I can get some light. I've also brought some black and white with me as well, but I think colour is the order of the day today, just because the beautiful colour of the green leaves at the moment, and it's quite I mean obviously it's going to change as the light comes up, but it's quite a soft sort of light as it is at the moment. So yeah, just going to sort of hang around. I'm not going to get set up yet, draw too much attention to myself, still on the side of the road with a massive 4x5 camera. But yeah, so I'm going to hang around, and I'll see you in a bit when I get set up, if I get set up. If not, you might see me here on another day. So we'll see what happens in a minute. Okay, so I'm all set up now. I've focused in. I'll just shut the lens blades, because I made that mistake on a previous video of leaving them open. It is getting more and more busy now, but there is a bit of light. It's a very soft light, because it still is behind some cloud up there, so it's not the light that I was after. But what I am going to do is try this Berlin black and white film. It is out of date, as it says on the top here. I don't actually know what the date is on this, or really how it's been kept. I went and picked it up from Bristol Cameras. Oh, there you go, it's 08/2019, but I'm going to shoot it at the box speed of 400, and hopefully that comes out all right. But I thought I'd shoot the black and white here. I'll probably save the colour, because I just don't think that I'm going to get that sort of stream of light that I'm after coming through the trees. But hopefully, you know, hopefully it works in black and white. And it is getting increasingly difficult now, because I can see probably half a mile down the road there, so it is getting increasingly difficult now to sort of shoot where there's a gap. because obviously I can see the cars right off in the distance, and because they've got their headlights on as they're coming through here, they're going to show up in the shot, any shot that I take. Like now I can see a car just coming onto the horizon, so when one comes past and one's coming at me, I've got to wait quite a long time between taking shots. So this is all going to be just about a waiting game more than anything. But anyway, doesn't matter, we'll get to try this black and white film, and hopefully this comes out all right. I'll see you in a second once I've loaded this up. It seems as though I've had a bit of an issue with my black and white 6x17 images that I took on the Berlin, or the Lomography Berlin 400 speed film. There is an image there, but it is very, very thin, extremely thin, and yeah, there's not really any detail at all. I've scanned them and I'm going to put them up. I can't really explain what's happened with them. I developed them in Ilford's DDX. I did the DDX development on these first, and I know you're supposed to chuck the developer away after one use, but if I'm doing one after the other quickly and not storing it at all, then I will do two out of the same batch. So I did the DDX, I did the Berlin in the DDX first, and then I went and put through some Delta 100 in immediately afterwards, 4x5, and the Delta has come out perfectly fine, no issue with the Delta at all. But for some reason the Berlin has come out with issues. Now I developed this, I developed it at 24 degrees for 5.5 minutes, which was what I did some research online, and that's sort of what it suggested that it that I use. Now it was, or it is, as it says on the top here, out of date. So that might have been an issue with it, or it might have just been purely the developer timings that I used. Maybe I didn't use the right developer timing, but the temperature was right, and I know the mix was right because I did the Delta Ilford Delta right after it, and we're using the same mix, the same batch of DDX, and they come out perfectly fine, as you're going to see in a minute. So yeah, I'm going to I'll put the images up anyway. And I've not done anything with them. Literally just scanned them and put them on, because I'm not going to do anything more with them other than show that, like I say, as I keep saying, I'm not just showing the good shots, I'm also going to show when I've had some failures as well, and these 4 shots were definitely failures, which is a bit annoying. But if you can comment below, let me know your thoughts on what you think went wrong with this roll, and I'd appreciate your feedback. So anyway, I shall, well, enjoy the rest of the video. Right, I think I've got a gap. First shot taken. Just see 2 cars coming in the distance, but hopefully they're not in my shot. Roll on to frame 3. And now I just wait for some, wait for the cars. Here we go. Beautiful. So the scene is looking a lot nicer now. I will move the camera in a second, just so you can see what I'm looking at. But I don't think I'm going to have long with this light as it is. Let's roll on to frame 5. Right, I'll just move the camera around just so you can see what I'm looking at. So this is what we're looking at, and what I'm contending with at the moment. As you can see, it's getting quite busy now. So just trying to battle and take photos between this traffic, but hopefully you can see on the video that we are now getting some light just coming through and onto the road and onto the tree line on the other side, which is looking real nice. I've actually got a gap, so I'm going to take another shot. I can hear some cars coming. Right, so I'm really hoping that the corner of my camera doesn't end up in the frame here. There's all possibilities it might do. I'm just going to fold in the flippy out screen. Right, there we go. Okay, so still just waiting for a gap in the cars. I should also mention that this location here is actually in Cranbourne Chase, so this will be going on that Instagram page as well, and they'll sort of go as a part of the project that I'm doing for Cranbourne, although I haven't done anything with it for a couple of months now, but I'm looking forward to getting out and photographing some of the villages. I've been looking around lately just to see what villages. Right, get on and take the shot. That's it, last shot taken. So yeah, so I'm looking forward to getting out and shooting the villages. So there's definitely going to be more on that to come, but this is a shot that will end up in that portfolio. Well, that's it then, that's the first roll of that in the bag. I am now going to change over to 4x5. Going to take a couple of shots in this location, and then I might just have a wander down the road just to see what else might be down there. So I'll get on now and change my setup for 4x5. Okay, so the light is a lot nicer now than it was quarter of an hour ago. There is some light sort of starting to stream through now. What I've done is I switched over to 4x5 because there is a couple of nice compositions here, I think. And what I've done is I've moved my camera slightly to try and get the road in and try and get the road coming into the bottom corner of the frame. And yeah, just to come over, so I've got a tree on this side which sort of framing the shot and acting as a stopper on this side of the image. So yeah, so I've metered through. I'm doing 16th and a third, and it's basically a second. So same issue again. Just waiting for the cars. I'm going to have to shield the lens because the sun is getting quite bright now. I'm just waiting for that gap. And I think I've got one. That's it, first shot of 4x5 in the bag. I'm going to flip round and take the same image again. And I have to say that the last outing I had with Delta 100 was the video that you guys have already seen, or hopefully have already seen if you've been watching the channel, which was the one in Castle Carey. And I have to say that every single shot came out on that trip, and it was just one of them sort of trips that I'd had where everything just fell into place nicely, which is a rarity for me. Which, if you've watched the Bluebell video I did, there's a car. Yeah, if you've watched the Bluebell video I did the other week, where I'd gone down to the barn which was surrounded by bluebells, you'll have noticed that I misfired 2 frames, and I've had a bit of a light leak on this 180mm lens, or something's going on with this, or 135mm lens I should say, where there's some light creeping in, which is frustrating. I'm not quite sure what's gone on there, but I'm hoping that you guys might be able to help out with that one. Just let me know your thoughts. That's it. Second shot in the bag. Hopefully I didn't get the edge of the holder in the frame. That's great. 2 of these in the bag. Just decided now if I want to move somewhere else. Right, so as hopefully you can see down the road there, the light has changed quite a bit over the last hour. And now what we're looking at is a scene that's got a lot more light on it. It's not quite the sort of shaft of light that I was looking for originally, but still, I still think it's a nice scene here, nice enough to shoot it in colour. So what I've got is a roll of Kodak Gold 200, which I'm just about 1 meter for now, and I'm going to hopefully shoot this now. And what I'm hoping for is that shooting in colour will bring out the greens and just the vibrance of the scene ahead, really. So that's what I've got my fingers crossed for. Right, so I've just metered in. F16 gives me 1/8 of a second. I'm just going to put that there. Make sure the aperture bead is closed. Hugely important. Do a bit of a test shot. All working fine. Now, as always, it's got to wait for a gap in the traffic. And I'm also just going to have to shield the lens from the sun. But I'm going to have to wait for these cars now to get out of my scene. I think that's the theme of the day, to be fair. Okay, this is looking promising. First one in the bag. Well excited about that. Just hoping that the colour comes out. Oh, I knew it was going to happen. I think it's the curse of colour for me, I think. But like a noob, I've actually not rolled the back on to my first frame. So I'm going to have to try that one again. At least I didn't expose some film by accident, which is what I did last time. So I haven't wasted any film, which is a good thing. I just didn't take the opportunity of getting that shot when it was available. Right, I think after this black van, beautiful. That's definitely the first one in the bag. We'll call the last one a test shot. Right, let's roll on to number 5. Right, hopefully I'll get a couple of a last couple of good shots. So what I've done is I've changed over to the 250mm lens and just recomposed slightly. And now I just was JCB's just gone past, and there's a whole ream of cars behind it. So I've got to wait for that to get out of the way. But yeah, it's quite early still, to be fair. Just like I say, just the more time goes on, it's getting busier and busier. So I think these are going to be my last 2 shots of this location, and hopefully they come out. Like I've said before, and I'm only saying this just because somebody commented on my 35mm video I put out not long ago, which is fine. I'm quite happy for people to comment and all the rest of it, as long as they're not nasty or they're not sort of trolling or anything like that. Then I'm quite happy for any criticism and stuff. Constructive criticism is always good. Always like keen to hear what other people would do, how they would do things differently, and just what your thoughts are on the shots that I've taken or the techniques that I've used, and that sort of thing. So I've got no problem with that. But you know, just wanted to say really in response to the 35mm video that I was actually really happy with some of the shots I took there. Would I take portrait out again and shoot it plus 2 stops? No, I wouldn't. I think I would have liked sharper images. What I'm also finding with my 35mm work is that I'm actually preferring the black and white shots that come out of it. For some reason, I'm just finding them a lot sharper, a lot more detailed. Maybe that's the film I'm using, maybe that's the way I'm developing it. There could be a whole host of reasons, but I'm just preferring the look of black and white photography in 35mm form a lot more than I am colour at the moment. But you know, like I said before, this channel's not about showing the videos or putting up my work that is absolutely perfect and putting out that impression that every time you come out and do a shoot that that's what you get, because the reality is that's not what you get. And you know, I think it's important, especially for new people coming out into the hobby or the industry, is that, you know, that you understand that it's not all about coming out every time and getting amazing shots, because that is not the case. If you get 1 in 100 portfolio shot, then you're doing well. And it's certainly, you know, the case for me that more often than not I won't get the shots that I'm looking for, and I'll have to return to the same location to get those shots that I'm looking for. But for me, it's just important that I show that. So I just had to take that because the car's coming in, there was nothing in front of me. Yeah, it's just important for me that I you know, come across genuine and come across the people that you know, I'm quite happy to show work when it's not so good, as well it is in my head good as well. So it's all about putting out everything that I do, just so, you know, new people coming into the hobby or industry can feel a bit more confident that it doesn't matter if they come away with bad shots, or not bad shots, but shots that they're not happy with, because it happens to all of us. So yeah, just wanted to say that really. Right, last frame, looks like it might be clear. Beautiful, just managed to get that in there. Right, just while I roll this on. So that's it for this video. I've managed to shoot through a roll of Kodak Gold 200, a roll of Lomography Berlin black and white film, which I've got no clue how that's going to come out. So hopefully that's you know, always excited to try. It's not new, it's not a new film stock, but it's new to me. So I'm always happy to try some different film stock. I've actually gone out and invested, I can't remember who said it in the comments, but I was having a chat with somebody, I can't remember who it was now, about Mummy 4x5 black and white. I've actually purchased a box of that. So there will be a video about that coming very soon. But I've just shot a couple of sheets of Delta 100, because I had 8 sheets of that left, so I'm just getting rid of that before I go on to the Mummy. But I'm excited to shoot it. So anyway, so like I say, if you've enjoyed this video, then a like to it is always appreciated. And if you're enjoying the content, a subscription to the channel is even better. And well, thanks for watching. Please leave a comment below. I always read them. I always get back to people, even if it does take me a few days. And I really appreciate it. So until the next time, I'll see you again.